Once upon a time, in the small village of Ndani, there lived a retired railway worker named Akachukwu. Akachukwu was a 65-year-old widower who had 3 children, 2 girls and 1 boy. His eldest daughter, Ugo, a beautiful 21-year-old secondary school leaver, had to take on the responsibility of taking care of her siblings after their mother died while giving birth to her last child. Ugo attended a government secondary school and finished at the age of 18, but because of lack of money, Ugo could not further her education. Now 21, and with a father who could barely cater for all his children after his retirement, Ugo did all she could to make sure her siblings had food to eat and attend the free government schools in the community. Ugo would go to other people's farm to weed and cultivate their farms, after which she would be paid for her services. Not only that, she also did other chores for people like fetching water for their water storage pots, washing their dirty clothes, and even cooking for them. She did all these so that her younger ones would not starve. Ugo, who had a big dream of studying law and becoming a senior advocate, had to abandon her dreams to help her family. And the beautiful thing was that she did all this with a smile on her face always. Little wonder she was well loved and always had jobs from people because of how sincere and hardworking she was. Akachukwu, Ugo's father, seeing how poverty had rendered him helpless from training his children, vowed that he was going to put an end to poverty in his family. And the only way he thought of achieving this purpose was by marrying off his first daughter, Ugo, to a very rich man. He believed that doing so would provide him with the resources he needed to enjoy life and live large. Akachukwu only thought about himself, and not for once did he put his children into consideration. All the years he worked as a railway worker and was on a monthly salary, not once did he make plans for his children's future. All he could do at the time was buy few foodstuffs for the home and then spend the rest on women and nightlife. It was this same selfish nature of his that made Ugo, his daughter, to start hustling quite early to help her siblings. Since Ugo did not get the love and attention she ought to have gotten from her father, Ugo looked forward to marrying a man that would love and protect her. While in secondary school, she had heard and also read about stories of how people fell in love, and she wanted the same thing for herself. And because of how hardworking and beautiful she was, Ugo always had male admirers coming her way. But the one that captured her heart was Chidi, a male tailor who always admired Ugo's hardworking nature. Chidi would always make out time to help Ugo out in the farms she was paid to work on. Both of them shared their dreams and always looked out for each other. Wanting to reduce the hardship Ugo had to go through to take care of her siblings, Chidi asked to go for her hand in marriage, which Ugo excitedly accepted. To her, she was finally going to enjoy being loved by the man of her dreams who cared so much for her. Ugom, Chidi started, "I'm so happy you have accepted to be my wife. I have big plans for you. But first of all, you will have to go back to school to achieve your dreams of becoming a lawyer. I will work day and night to raise all the money you need to further your education. I know you'll be worried about your siblings and who will take care of them while you are studying. But don't worry, I also have them in mind. I thank God that my tailoring shop is expanding and I have more people working for me to meet up with the orders I get. I believe that everything will work out, and with you by my side, we will get to any height we want to get to in this life," he said. Ugo, who was lost for words, ran into Chidi's arms in a warm embrace and then looked up to look into his eyes. "Chidi, my love, You have made me the happiest woman on earth. It will be an honor to be your wife. You are kind, sincere, and hardworking. I always marvel at how you will leave your work and come to help me in completing my chores. How many men would do that? I do not for once doubt that you will keep to your words. My promise to you is that I will also make you proud. Already, you know that I'm not a lazy girl, so even while studying, I will still be hustling to help out so that the load will not be too much on you, she said. My heart is filled with joy, my love, Chidi replied. You need to inform your father of my intentions towards you. He will then give you the go-ahead to ask us to come for the introduction and the other necessary marital rites I am to undertake. I will go right now and inform him. I am sure that he will be very excited with the news. Ugo rushed home to go and inform her father of what has just happened. Papa, I have met a wonderful man. His name is Chidi and he wants to marry me. He is that famous tailor in our village who is very well known for his craft. He is very hardworking and has promised to take care of me and also help me further my education so that I can become a lawyer. Papa, do you know that this man Chidi would leave his work and come with me to the farm to help me finish my work faster? I am so happy, Papa. I thank the gods for giving me a man that I love and would be happy to spend the rest of my life with. While Ugo was still speaking, her father, Akachukwu, cut her short with harsh words. Nonsense, he shouted. You are too young to know what love is. Who is this tailor that you are here raving about? How much can a tailor provide for you? I thought you would bring me a governor's son as the person asking for your hand in marriage. Instead, here you are jumping around like a child who has been given a piece of meat, all because of a common tailor. Listen, I have big plans for you, and I will not allow you to jeopardize that for me. Don't worry yourself. Since you cannot get me a wealthy man to marry you, I will find one for you. Someone who can provide for you and our family and make me a rich man for once in my life. But Papa, Ugo pleaded, Chidi is the man I want to spend my life with. We love each other and together he will help me achieve my dreams of becoming a lawyer. And once I become one, Papa, you'll be proud of me because I will make sure to put a smile on your face. But Akachukwu would not listen. He was determined to marry Ugo off to a wealthy man. He had always believed that financial stability was the key to a good life. Young woman, you do not know anything about marriage. When you are hit with poverty like the one I am in, you will forget everything about love. You will spend every day crying, and by then, it will be too late to leave the marriage. Besides, with a wealthy man, you will not lack the money to further your education, if that is what you want. Please, I don't want to hear anything about love and that tailor you just mentioned. I will not accept his marriage proposal to you, so better tell him to stay away from you, Akachukwu said and went back into his room. In the days that followed, Akachukwu began his search for a suitable husband for Ugo. He met with various wealthy men from neighboring villages, assessing their fortunes, but none was wealthy enough for him. Ugo watched helplessly as her father made plans for her future without considering her feelings. She tried to talk to her father again, hoping to change his mind. Papa, please understand that money isn't everything. I want to marry someone I love, someone who makes me happy. Akachukwu's face hardened. Love does not put food on the table, Ugo. You will understand this when you are older. My decision is final. You will marry a wealthy man and you will learn to love him. Ugo's heart broke at her father's words. She knew that convincing him would be impossible, She could only hope that somehow fate would intervene and allow her to be with Chidi. Until then, she would have to endure her father's strict rules and the constant pressure to marry a man she did not love. From that day on, Akachukwu watched Ugo closely. Whenever he saw her with a male friend or love interest, he would shout at her and make sure she starves for the rest of the day. Helpless Ugo felt trapped in her own home, unable to express her true feelings or pursue her own happiness. Meanwhile, Ugo had told Chidi how her father had refused giving her hand in marriage to him. She wept so hard that you could tell that her heart was broken. Chidi held her tightly and assured her that he would meet with her father and make him change his mind. The following day, Chidi went with a bottle of a very expensive wine and some of the finest already made clothes he was selling in his tailoring shop to meet Ugo's father. The moment Chidi introduced himself to Akachukwu, Akachukwu cut him short, just the way he had shut up Ugo the day she told him of Chidi's intentions towards her. So, you are the Chidi, the so-called hard-working and popular tailor in our village? What gave you the impetus to come into my home to ask for my daughter's hand in marriage? Didn't my daughter tell you that I do not want her to have anything to do with you? You came here with a bottle of wine and clothes to deceive me into accepting your proposal to my daughter. Meanwhile, my mates are getting car gifts from men that are seeking for their daughters' hands in marriage. You think I will fall for this cheap trap and release my daughter to you? You lie. Please leave my house at once and never speak to my daughter again. Papa, please hear me out, Chidi began. I have the best intentions for your daughter. I might not be able to provide a car gift for you at the moment, but I promise you that one day I'll provide you with a bigger gift than a car. All I want is her happiness and to help her fulfill her dreams. Please, give me a chance, Papa, and you will never regret accepting me as your son-in-law. Who are you calling Papa? Please, I do not want to hear that from your mouth. I am talking about money, riches, and you are here filling my ears with promises. Will I eat promises? So you want my daughter's fate to end up like mine? Well, I don't blame you. You have not tasted money, so you think that all those pennies they pay you for your cheap tailoring work is what will buy me a car. Or maybe you want to buy the car for me when I am very old, I cannot enjoy the car. See, Mr. Taylor, I have asked you to leave my house before and you are still here. If I enter my room and return and you are still here, you will live to regret stepping your feet inside my house, Akachukwu said as he stormed off. Chidi left looking very sad and defeated. Having been barred from speaking to Chidi, Ugo and Chidi often met at discreet places to console each other and to keep their dreams of getting married alive. They were careful to keep their meetings secret, but Akachukwu was always watching. One day, as both of them were seated, speaking and holding each other in one of the farmlands Ugo was paid to clear, Akachukwu found them. Unknowingly to Ugo, her father had followed her as she left for work that particular day. Furiously, he shouted, "Ugo, come here at once." Ugo, shocked to see her father, quickly stood up and ran to him, trembling. "Papa, please, we were just talking." Akachukwu's face turned red with anger. "Have I not warned you never to speak with this man again? How dare you defy my orders? Since you have made up your mind to keep seeing him, I'll make sure you regret it. You are forbidden from leaving the house or talking to any man until I find you a suitable husband. he said as he dragged her home. Ugo spent the following days at home, always crying. Her siblings were too young to understand what she was going through and could only wipe her tears whenever they saw her crying. The weight of her father's control kept pressing down on her, making it difficult to breathe. But Akachukwu did not care that his daughter was heartbroken. Instead, he would make Ugo work in the house from dawn till dusk, cleaning, cooking, and tending to the household. He believed that hard work would keep her mind off Chidi and any other potential suitors. Akachukwu intensified his search for a wealthy suitor. One fateful day, he went to the pension office in the city to complain of his pension that he was yet to be receiving. He came across a man and a young lady quarreling inside a car parked by the road. They were both inside a very expensive jeep parked very close to where Akachukwu was standing and waiting for a bus to take him to his next destination. Because both of them were shouting at each other, Akachukwu overheard everything they were talking about. "You are the most senseless and useless man I have ever come across in my life. I sacrificed everything just to make you happy, but you never for once put me first in your life. All you know is work, work and work. Even at that, you will not let me be free. You keep sending people to be monitoring me. What have I achieved in the over 6 years I have been with you? You claim to be loving, but never make time for me. And at every little provocation, you will hit me. You will not allow me speak to any man, but you keep changing girls like you change your clothes. How many more years do I have to spend with you before you find me worthy of being your wife? Anyway, I am no longer going to keep waiting for you. You can go ahead with your numerous girlfriends and cheating ways. I am out of this worthless relationship," the lady yelled as she got out of the car and slammed the door behind her. "Stella! Stella!" the man yelled back. "If you walk away from me, make sure to never return. I am not joking. I will never take you back. You will never meet a man like me who can wipe away poverty from your family forever. Stella! Stella! I hope you know what you are doing." Akachukwu's ear perked on hearing the man say that he was willing to wipe away poverty from the lady's family forever. Without wasting time, Akachukwu drew closer to the man to provide unsolicited advice. "My son, how are you? Hope there is no problem." "Oga, there is no problem," the man replied harshly. "Please don't be offended," Akachukwu began, leaning on the car door. "But I overheard that lady insulting you and belittling you. I thought it was a small boy that she was talking to, only to draw closer to see a full-grown responsible man. Young women of these days, where are their manners? I am sure that that young woman did not come from a good home, else she would have been trained never to speak to a grown man in that manner. My daughter would never speak to you in such a manner. She is well brought up to worship the ground you walk on. I wish you met her. You would have been amazed at how well behaved she is. And to top it all, she is very beautiful, young and ripe for marriage. If you don't mind, I could bring her for you to see." Akachukwu kept talking unashamed. "Sir, I am not interested in any girl or your daughter for that matter. I am in a hurry and I have to go now," the man said and was about to drive off. "My son, please, if you do not mind, I have been standing here for a long time waiting for a vehicle to take me to the park, but have not seen any. Can I please join you so that you can drop me off? I know you may not be headed to the park, but anywhere you stop me will be better than here that I am. Please, my son," Akachukwu said. "Oga, you are really testing my patience. Do you know me before? Why are you bent on wasting my time? Anyway, why am I even talking to you? The man said as he zoomed off. Just few blocks away, the man stopped and reversed. He came back to where Akachukwu was and asked him to enter his car. Akachukwu jumped in with speed, that you would wonder where such strength came from for a man his age. He feared that wasting time might make the man change his mind. Thank you very much, my son. I said it, that you are a good man. See how you came back for me. I am very grateful. Let me say a prayer for you. You will never lack, and you will never meet bad people in life, and you will marry a good wife that will not insult you or disrespect you all the days of your life. Akachukwu kept talking. Thank you for the prayer. By the way, my name is Larry. I don't know why, but I just felt I should consider your offer of seeing your daughter. If she is everything you said she is, then I don't mind marrying her. Larry said, Ah, my son, you have made the best decision of your life. My daughter is just the perfect woman for you. You will not regret it, I promise you. And my name is Akachukwu. Larry went on to drop off Akachukwu at the park, and they both agreed on the day and location he would bring his daughter to the city to meet him. On the agreed day, Akachukwu woke up very early, told Ugo to get ready, that she was going to accompany him to the city. He did not tell his daughter why they were going to the city. He only made sure she wore her best attire and beautified her hair. They met with Larry at one of his 5-star hotels in the city. It turned out that Larry was very, very rich and has chains of businesses that generates income for him on a daily basis. The moment Larry set his eyes on Ugo, he liked how beautiful, innocent and timid she looked. He told Akachukwu outrightly that he was going to marry his daughter. Ugo did not understand what was going on. Looking at Larry, her first impression of him was that of a controlling man with an imposing figure who is also very stern. Ugo felt a chill run down her spine as she watched him interact with her father. Larry did not even try to get to know her or to properly ask for her hand in marriage. It was as if she was a transaction that Larry and her father needed to close out on. After the meeting, Larry gave Akachukwu bundles of money and told him that he was going to come with his kinsmen the following week for introduction and to collect the traditional marriage list. This gladdened Akachukwu's heart so much that he got to work immediately to draw up a long list for the marital rites. This is the time for me to recover all my wasted years. I am going to be rich, super rich. All the people that made fun of me and called me a poor and lazy man will regret the day they called me such. By the time my rich in-law builds me a new house, buys me a jeep, and changes my life for the better, all of them that laughed at me will come begging at my feet, Akachukwu thought to himself. Meanwhile, Ugo lived in fear of what was to come. She can already deduce that Larry was not the kind of man she dreamt of getting married to. She could tell from their first encounter that he was an overbearing and controlling man who cared little or nothing about her feelings. The thought of being married to him filled her with dread. She tried to talk to her father one last time, hoping to change his mind. Papa, please, Ugo begged. I do not love Larry. He is much older than me. It is Chidi that I love. Please reconsider your plans and allow me marry Chidi, the man that wants my happiness. I have warned you never to mention that name Chidi in this house anymore. You will marry Larry and you will learn to love him. He can provide for you and our family. That is all that matters, Akachukwu said firmly. Ugo cried and pleaded, but her father would not change his mind. The traditional wedding preparations began, and Ugo felt her heart breaking even more. The whole preparation went on without her father or Larry asking for her input. Ugo's misery grew at the thought of spending her life with Larry, a man she did not know, did not love, and could never love. She felt as if her life was slipping away, and there was nothing she could do to stop it. She confided in her friends, hoping they might offer some advice or support. They were all sympathetic, but powerless to help her. The traditions of their village were strong, and defying one's parents was almost unheard of. On the day of the introduction, Larry arrived with his kinsmen and a lot of gifts for Akachukwu and Ugo. He collected the marriage list and was shocked to see the items on the list. Although money was never his problem because he was filthy rich, nevertheless, he couldn't believe the items listed on the list. Contained in the list were a 2-story building built in the city and tastefully furnished for the father of the bride, a duplex for the father of the bride in the village, 2 jeeps, and a luxurious bus. Then 5 million naira bridal price. These were just the minor ones. There were other outrageous items mentioned on the list. Larry knew that Akachukwu made up that list to enrich himself because he could already tell that he was a greedy and selfish man. Being a smart guy that he was, Larry agreed to fulfill everything on the list, but said that building the houses both in the city and in the village would take some time and would delay his plans of getting married to Ugo. But he would need to place a special order for the jeeps and the luxurious bus because he wanted nothing but the best for his father-in-law. He then pleaded that they accept the 5 million naira bridal price while he goes ahead with the traditional wedding, promising to provide the others as soon as the wedding was over. Akachukwu did not even wait for his own kinsmen to deliberate on what Larry said, to know whether to accept his offer or not. On hearing that the 5 million naira would be paid, he accepted and asked Larry to go ahead and provide other things mentioned in the list, apart from the houses and vehicles. The day for the traditional wedding arrived, and Larry and his kinsmen, friends and relations came prepared with boxes of clothes and African wrappers, jewelries, and the rest as contained in the list. Already, he had made preparations for different kinds of food for the day and paid for them. It was indeed a rich traditional wedding, only that the bride in question, Ugo, looked miserable, like a sheep being taken to the slaughterhouse. Then, when it was time to pay the bride price, he provided them with a check of 5 million naira. Happy and excited Akachukwu could not contain his joy. He held on to the check as if his life depended on it. He gladly prayed for Larry and Ugo for a successful marriage and sent them on their way. Akachukwu ate and made merry, still clutching onto the check in his hand. He could not wait for the weekend to be over so that he can go to the bank and cash out the check. Little did Akachukwu know that his own misery was about to begin. He was about to find out that Larry tricked him and played him at his own game. He would find out that indeed all that glitters is not gold. You don't want to miss out on the second part of the story. It will leave you both in suspense and in shock. You will see how Akachukwu lost everything and wished he could turn back the hands of time, but it was too late. Watch out for the next part dropping shortly. In the meantime, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Also, do leave a comment in the comment section below. I would love to know your thoughts on the story. Until I come your way again shortly, stay happy.